oven space and even counter space when it comes time to cool your pieces. This is really fun and exciting. Marie-Louise Ludwig is joining us again. Baking extraordinaire from an expert baker, Betty Crocker.
Yeah, and
it's like not quite a trifecta. But.
And the one thing that I've learned about baking all these years is you have to have the right tools. It's what makes baking fun, and it's what gives you confidence in the kitchen. These tools are great. Not only does a rack give you twice as much space in your oven, but also the cookie sheets that come with it are non-stick and they're great cookie sheets. I recommend buying 2 because you got 1 to cool and 1 going in the oven, most especially if you're doing mass quantities of cookies, which I love to do.
This is the 3-tier baking rack that you get, and what's kind of fun, you also get the 3 cooking sheets. $19.76, whether it's for cookies, roasting vegetables, meal prep. Now we're maximizing our oven space at a clearance price of $19.76. It really turns any oven into a double oven. This rack, it folds flat when you're not using it. Okay, Marie, we got to see this in action.
It clicks easily together too. So it also maximizes your counter space.
Exactly.
I know I'm living in a counter space. Let's see now. One of these. Aha. Okay.
Lucky oven number.
Here's why I love this. I baked, Allie, 18 different kinds of cookies for Christmas.
Stop it. How many? 18 different types. How many cookies?
18 different kinds of cookies. Oh my God, hundreds and hundreds of cookies. Much more Christmassy than these. But here's the point to this. You need space for cooling. You need a nice rack that gives you enough space in between here. So now what you do is when you're taking these cookies out of the rack and you're allowing them to cool because you want your cookie sheets to cool, now you get these ready and you get that second rack going and you have batches of cookies going at the same time.
So this, you just put the rack on like your bottom rack in your oven. And now you've got like triple layers that you can layer, whether it's cookies, whether you're doing roasted vegetables, whether you're making muffins or sticky buns or cinnamon rolls.
Right next
What's
door.
in here?
I don't know.
All right, I'm ready for the big games.
Think big game.
Nachos, are these poppers and wings?
Poppers and wings. Think about your oven space or lack thereof. Now, if you're at home, you might have 2 shelves. That's great. You can maybe put 2 trays on there. But think about when everybody's coming over and a lot of things you want to keep warm, especially if your guests bring something and maybe you get the initial food going, but everybody brings a dish that needs to be warmed up. Now look, instead of just putting 1 or 2 here, now you can go up a couple levels, keep the oven at warm, and you could take out these things and then put more things in at the same time, and we like having that extra space.
$19.76. So remember, you're getting all 3 of the cookie sheets. That would almost be like getting each cookie sheet, let's see, can I do my math quickly? Oh, for about $6.58, and that would be like the rack was free. But you get it all for $19.76. Think back to the holidays. Did you need more counter space? Even for serving, maybe you had extra dishes that you needed to kind of lay out, a hot dish of lasagna, your cookie tray, a cooling rack, K48089. So Betty Crocker was founded by General Mills, which is a Minnesota company. So I was teasing Marie before we began. I was Mrs. Minnesota and I went to Mrs. America and my state costume was Betty Crocker. And I put up a picture on my Facebook page. So check it out on my Facebook page, Allie Carr. My oven mitt had rhinestones. My earrings, you can't see it in here. They were actually, you would love this.
How cute are you?
They were sugar cookies.
Stop.
They were real sugar cookies. If I could wear that every day, that would be my ghost outfit.
That is so cute.
Okay, but back to baking.
That is so cute. Back to baking. Well, Betty Crocker knows all about baking. So many of us enjoyed Betty Crocker things throughout the course of the year, but still creating tools today that we love. This easily snaps together. You just snap down these pieces together, and if you want to take it down, it just folds and goes right into a drawer for storage. I like to keep mine up because you can store things on here. Like,
that's a good
point.
With
cookie sheets on here, I always have a lot of things going. Sometimes if I'm busy in the kitchen and maybe I'm not doing baking, I take my Cuisinart and all my Cuisinart blades going here.
Oh, what a great idea.
In order, and I can pull those out. So there's lots of different things you can do for this. Recommend hand washing for all of it. It's one way to preserve the integrity of your nonstick sheets is hand washing. No spraying it with any kind of a spray.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. If you really, really, really want super nonstick on here, use a piece of parchment paper on the top of it. I'll tell you that.
That's a good point. It's a good little baking tip. I have another baking question for you, but let me remind you, get the 3 sheets and the collapsible baking rack, so it's super easy on storage. If you run out of places when you need to cool your dishes, whether it's a pie, whether it's your cookies, the roasted vegetables, and then you're now maximizing your oven space. Okay, so if I put in the 3 cookies,
yes,
I put them all in the oven at the same time.
Yes.
Do I need to adjust my baking time?
You do not need to adjust, well, maybe a little bit, but I can tell you that you will need to, and I do this with cookies no matter what, maybe pull them out, switch them around and turn them.
Okay.
Like halfway through the baking process, pull them around. The great thing about this, if you look at this here, is that you have plenty of space in between for air to circulate. May I just say, one of the issues that so many bakers have is that when you use your regular rack in the oven and you put a regular cookie sheet, a big one on top and a big one on bottom, you're actually blocking that element. You're blocking it. So this allows all that air to circulate around, but definitely pull them out and turn them around so it gets even baking all around.
But it's not just baking too. I mean, maybe it's roasted vegetables. Maybe you're just going to reheat some food. Oh, look at this. You've got your Temptations bakeware on top.
Look at this on here.
Lasagna, roasted vegetables, and the rolls, whole meal.
Oh,
it's like having a double
garlic
oven.
bread? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm starving now. The garlic bread smells good. But this also shows you how sturdy this is. It's always a question. Is this shelf going to be wobbly?
Good point.
Up on top here, this is a big pan of lasagna. Temptations is a little bit heavier to begin with. The quality there gives you a nice heavy ceramic dish. And then you've got lasagna and everything on here, and it's imperfect. Yeah.
You're going to love having this. A lot of you are picking up on more than one, and you're going to be really pleased, right? These are hardy, durable cookie sheets. You get 3 and the 3-tier rack. So it really is a home run. If you were really running out of space as you were entertaining this holiday season, this is going to be dynamite, especially too when you think about having people over for the games, for parties, really fun. Marie Louise Ludwig,
I can't
you
believe
always bring us